Welcome back to another video. You have to forgive me, I'm currently dying of hay fever, so my eyes are a little red and I just look a little bit crap, but other than that, feeling alright. I hope the newish setup looks okay. Still sort of making some tweaks. I know that the lighting is still fairly average, as you can expect on this channel, but hopefully we will eventually get there to a place where I can improve the production quality to a reasonable standard, given the standard on YouTube these days is relatively high, I would say. But just trying to make it a more pleasurable viewing experience for anyone, but whilst retaining the down-to-earth and genuine nature of this channel. So I know I put out videos on quite a wide range of things, and I have no idea what videos lead people to subscribe to this channel, although the Boss ME80 video that I did probably is getting the most views. So I'm guessing that a few subscribers came from that video, which is great because I have an ME90 on the way to do another comparison or another demonstration, and I will also be comparing that to the Boss DD200, the PS5, and a few other Boss pedals I've got lying around, including the CS2, which is one of my favorite compressors. Today's video, we're going to be having a look at some of the first pedals that I ever built. So these were from kits primarily. First one being the BYOC, or Build Your Own Clone, True Bypass AB loop pedal. I believe you can still get these kits from them. Not sure about the shipping costs these days, because I would have bought this about 10 to 15 years ago, maybe 10 years ago, I think. This has been a really useful pedal for comparing as well as demonstrations. So we are going to have a look at the inside, which I am a little bit worried about. It's not going to be pretty in there, although this one I might have touched it up in later years. Still got the rubber washers on the outside because I thought that was the cool thing to do, because that's what Sir pedals do, but I'm going to put them back on the inside because I've covered up part of the decal. This was an iron-on transfer label, which used to be really popular for kit pedals back in the day. Probably still is quite useful, although a lot of people tend to just paint them themselves. For my pedals, luckily my wife is quite a talented artist, so this is a more up-to-date example of a Boss VB2 clone that I did. I've only done one of these. I've got 4 more boards to build. I'm going to use some slightly different ICs and see how they compare, because this one sounds nice, but it's got a little bit of a volume drop and a little bit of a noise floor, maybe slightly more than in a real VB2. Next one is the BYOC Overdrive II. This is just a TS808 Tube Screamer clone. It's got a clean boost, independent and after the Tube Screamer. And then the regular Tube Screamer, it's got output, gain and treble, I forget which knob is which, and a bass boost switch, and another switch for clipping options. But we'll need to have a look inside this one, because I know that I've got 2 of the clipping options. I don't know if I have the third one. I can't remember how they work. Really great pedal. Runs on 9 to 18 volts. I'm going to disassemble this so that I can paint it properly with labels for the controls. And I'll probably compare it to my Ibanez NTS new tube screamer thingy. Next one is the BYOC Octave Fuzz. This is the transformer-based Octave Fuzz with, you can defeat the octave there. We'll compare that to the non-transformer Roger Mayer Octavia that's in one of these, so that uses a pair of diodes for the octave up instead, and it's also got a defeatable octave switch, so that would be a cool comparison that I've wanted to do for a long time. The next one is the Colorsound Power Boost or Overdriver. This is based on the Mark I Power Boost. There's about 3 versions. I think you can tell the difference by the number of resistors each has. This is the same as the Castledine Macari's reissue, the big orange box one, because I really like that pedal. I used quite a few surface mount components in this just to see if it would still sound as good, which I do think it does, and with the surface mount layout you can fit a battery in there. So we'll just have a quick look if it will autofocus for me. There we go. Oh, don't mind that finger. So I still do need to compare this to one I've built with bigger components, non-surface mount. I'm pretty sure they sound the same, but you never know. You get weird things going on with capacitance and whatnot. Here's the guts of this excellent looking, what's a bit dusty, but this is, it needs some knobs obviously, but my wife did this 3D octopus on here, which I think looks very, very cool. And guts. So let's take a look inside this. I mean, it's adequate, but it's nothing special, that's for sure. You know what, this doesn't look too terrible. This is the Overdrive II or Tube Screamer. And the BYOC Octave Fuzz. And the final Easter egg, as it were, that I wanted to mention is I am still planning on getting onto this. This is the FV1 dev board. Really cool. Makes it super easy to learn how to program and mess with the Spin FV1 chip. Builders like Mr. Black, Cattle and Bread, I think probably Keeley's Digital Pedals in the earlier days. All the kind of the smaller Portland brands and any of the smaller pedal companies that get into doing digital pedals tend to use the FV1 chip because it's quite easy to use and get going. That being said, I still haven't made an FV1 pedal, but it's in the works because I want to figure out how Cattle and Bread did the Echorec and the Bell Epoch, which I'm pretty sure are both FV1 based. The analog side of them is really well done, but I believe they are done using FV1 chips. I can try and confirm that online, but yeah, it's fun to mess with this. It's a little bit tedious because I don't have much of a programming background, but we will see what we can do because we could really do with more resources online on how to program FV1 chips and implement them in pedals, because I think it's a really cool thing for, you know, DIY people to get into rather than just doing sort of fuzz faces and analog overdrives and stuff like that. As cool as those are, this would, you know, open up the doors a bit more and allow to make some kind of cool 2-in-1 pedals as well, you know, reverb combined with fuzz in one pedal, that sort of thing. So yeah, thanks for watching and making it this far. Let me know in the comments what you want to see more of on this channel, and I can try and tailor things around that. I'm pretty open to making videos about anything audio gear related because I'm into everything, but it would be nice to know what you guys like to see and we can explore, you know, different things. Thanks for watching this far. Hope you appreciate what I'm doing on the channel, what I'm trying to do. Definitely some cool videos to come. Have a nice day.